Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper. I'm Brianna and I am so glad you're here today. I am playing along with Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, where we take a pin from our Pinterest board. I'm also playing along with Sketch Sunday, where the crew and I all take the same sketch, and today's sketch is from Pinterest. That works well. Here it is. And I am doing another purple layout. So another picture of Meredith when she graduated in May of 24. I'm getting down to the last couple layouts of May. And look at these big flowers I found in my stash. So big stash busting today. Um, these I had gotten at like a resale craft thing show, I guess it was. And I found one of these lavender punched out flowers in my stash, and I like that. So I punched out two more to match. And I layered up a whole bunch of these black and white flowers. And I actually have two black flowers left in my stash. That's it. End of story. And will I be buying more of these? Absolutely not. Not that I even know where you could buy them if you wanted them. When I was kind of building my stash, let's say, I would buy things like this, like the flowers, because I knew they make a big impact, and buying them secondhand especially, they didn't cost that much money. And you can put them on any kind of layout, right? Graduation or Mother's Day or just anything. I have them in a whole bunch of different colors, and I've just been kind of using them here and there. So makes me happy to get all these onto one layout. And then you can also see the little purple ones. Those are Paper Studio from Hobby Lobby. Now I do take my glue, my liquid glue, to glue these down. Oftentimes I do like to work with adhesive foam tape because it seems to hold them better. And what I'm going to find in a moment or two is that the glue isn't just cutting it. Now I've seen people say that they use glue and adhesive, and I think it's usually with fun foam, where they're using both of them so that while the wet glue is drying, the um like the ATG adhesive will hold it in place. So that's kind of what I end up doing, but you'll see that in a moment. Now, these are very old. I feel like a broken record. I have a very old this and a very old that. So these are papers from Close to My Heart. I used to be a consultant 20 years ago. This is when those are from, and now they're not in business anymore. But every time I use these now, I think of Michelle McCants. She's the stamp booker, and she also has a stash of Close to My Heart stuff. So, anyway, I pulled these pattern papers, I guess, yeah, out of my stash, and um, there are different patterns on these. I think there's also one with like probably like a plaid. So I this one wasn't quite as long as I would have liked it to be, so I cut two pieces, and it was cut shorter. So I think it was like 9-inch pieces or something. So I just made them. Now I made them 3 inches, and I actually thought about cutting them smaller. But my photo is actually bigger than what the layout with the sketches. So and it doesn't have to be exactly. So I went with it. I have this Creative Memories uh, what do you call it, frame, which I thought would work well because in the scrapbook sketch there is probably like 3 layers to that um, kind of framed around the photo. So I liked this one, and it's been sitting in my stash, so something else to use. I also have, now these are Nicole Jones 911 printables that I've had for quite a while, and this matched so perfectly. How could I not get that onto the layout? So I'm going to kind of use that as another layer of a mat, sort of, a little bit. I mean, you could think of it as an embellishment too, but I'm going to put them where the flowers aren't and where you can see the scallop border. I'm going to put this under the other ends of the frame where the scallop border is. So I didn't trust myself at cutting it in half, so I bent it, and which it's a 5.5-inch circle. So made sure that it really was a 5.5-inch circle, but folding it in half, and that's where I thought to cut it. So that worked out well. Now I kind of tuck them in, knowing that this flower is going to on the top is going to overlap, so you don't see where uh, that viewfinder is coming out, and then knowing too that on the bottom, up right there, I'm going to put a tab so you can't see that where that viewfinder is kind of sticking out. And still following this sketch now. I don't have I don't have the space, well, because my flowers are so big, to kind of tuck those underneath the panel on the left. So those take up a lot more space than what the embellishments do on the sketch. And my title will not end up, I don't know, do I have a title? Oh goodness, I don't really have a title. That's okay though. I have three little words I'm going to put on there. This is just a scrap of graduation paper I've had for a long time. So I'm going to use that as my little shelf, like is in the sketch. Mine's going to be thicker. That's okay, and you're barely going to see any of it because it's all going to get layered under the viewfinder and the flowers and the frame. But that's okay. You can still tell it's there. The white flowers in the middle here, of those three big ones, big flowers are close to my heart, and I have like a lot of those left. So those are fun in that you can like take an ink pad and well, you could take a brush probably and get them a more solid color, or you can just run an ink pad across them. But here I'm just going to leave them white. So now that I'm liking where everything is, I'm going to adhere stuff down. I probably should have put those three strips of paper down first and got them glued down, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to keep them that long or keep them that wide. So that's why I didn't do that first thing. I just wanted to kind of dry fit everything and make sure I had room for everything before I started gluing it down. Now that I'm gluing them down, I find the perfect spot for them, so I'm kind of holding them in place while I'm getting into that just right place. That tab that I grabbed out that is going to go right next to that Creative Memories frame is from Ellie's Studio. I have a whole bunch of like pocket cards and what other things, tabs and some tags from Ellie's Studio, and those are all my color boxes. I have to use those too. So once I get that done, there goes my tab. And I like to put the date on tabs. These layouts are all happening on the same day. There's a whole bunch of Meredith graduating, so I don't necessarily have to put the date on each one of them, but once I get them all done, I'll do the journaling and I can date the ones that I want to. So here I am using the ATG adhesive to strategically get that down in the corner there. And I had some like banners, and I don't have any room for banners really because I covered that up with a flower. And that's okay with me. But I had sorted out all the black things, gray things, white things that I had wanted over to the left-hand side there, along with all the purple flowers. That camera on the right-hand side in the corner there does not get used. That is from Scrapbook Generation. It's a whole collection of, they do different colors. So this one was black and purple, whereas, you can get black and red or several different colors. Here is, I'm going to get that shelf down. And like I said, most of it's going to be covered up, but you are going to get to see little peeks out of either side. I do use some of the banners from Scrapbook Generation, little wordy bits, but there are pieces left over. But like I said, I have at least one more layout of Meredith to do in her purple, so I'll have those things for that next layout. I will have the playlist for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers that I'm playing along with all month. And I will have the Sketch Sunday crew and everybody that's playing along with the sketch today listed below as well. Make sure you check them out. I can guarantee you theirs will be very different than me, and no one will else be doing a purple monochromatic layout. And I don't even know what they're doing today. That's okay. Those are the kind of the banner and the wordy bits that I was talking about from Scrapbook Generation. At first I had a different word up there, but because they're all fishtail banners to the left and straight on the right, I wanted to keep that going with all three of them. So the first one in black says "This is everything." Then the one in gray says "Magic moment," and then the black one on the bottom says "Impressive!" exclamation mark. Now I'm going to add those pretty purple flowers from Paper Studio, and where you can see the dots on the sketch, that's just where I went with little clusters of the flowers. And so I do one big and two little in each cluster. And I think I do, let's see. Oh, so one of them is the glittery purple and then two smaller regular purples. And then the other one is the regular purple and two glittery small purples. And then one of those I'm going to be repeating up on the top where the other circle is. Here we go. Two sparkly little ones, and then oop, nope. Oh, it changed it up. So, so one sparkly little one, one regular little one. Oh, and then another little regular one. Interesting. I could have done three big ones. I mean, another big one because I have more of those big ones up there, but must have changed it up a little bit. Here you can see that I'm struggling just with the liquid glue. So on the flowers, I'm also using ATG in the middle to help keep them together while the liquid glue dries, and then I will layer those. And again, they're not exactly where the embellishments are on the layout because mine are so much bigger, but I'm making it work for me. Now I'm going to make sure that glue finder viewfinder is stuck down, and then I picked up the paper just to make sure everything else was glued down. I'm going to use two different kinds of splatters, the purple and some gray, and that really completes the layout for me. Make sure you go down below and check out the playlist for Off the Board with Pineapple Papers, as well as everyone that's playing along with Sketch Sunday. I do love me some splatters, and I do have enough that I can splatter for a long time, so gotta get that out of my stash as well. All right, that'll do it for me today, and until next time, may your memories always have a home on paper.